until I was about in junior high, and then Dad became pastor out at a church way out on Lake Travis, so we moved out there. But I still think of this church as home because this is actually the church I sat right back there when I accepted Christ. Not that that's a special chair or anything. They've changed chairs since then. But so I'm here because I got to go on a special trip. I got to go to Kenya. I had always wanted to go to Africa all my life. And so I'd always looked at books and stuff and seen pictures and always was excited about going. And so finally I got to go. So I went on a mission trip. And so the way our mission trip worked was we took an eye doctor with us, we took a nurse with us, and the rest of us, and we took an evangelist with us, and everybody else, like me, was a helper. You know, just jumped in and helped as much as we could. And so, can we start the slides? All right, so this is later at the end. I'll just give you a little taste of the safari at the end of the mission trip.
Didn't it take 2 years?
So that was that's a baby elephant that's 1 week old. Our guide said he still had the umbilical cord attached to him. I didn't see it, but so we're going to see some animals at the end. But so go ahead and go to the next one. All right, so this is our group. So we have people that were from 77 down to 32, and so some of them had been on the one eye doctor. He's been on 80 mission trips. This was my second. So the pastor and his wife sponsored us, and the rest of us in the middle, the 6 of us, went on the trip. So the organization I went through is called Partner 135, and the reason is it's based on Philippians 1:3-5, which talks about partnering with the local church. And so we went over there and just said, this is what we have, this is what we can do, and what do you want to do with us? And so they organized where they wanted us to go, what they wanted us to do. And then, so we did medical clinics, we did eye clinics, and then we also had a evangelism service at the end on a couple of days. So we got to serve in prisons. We got to serve in some slum areas, and we also went to a pastor's conference. And so let me tell you really quick about the pastor's conference. The pastor's conference had pastors from all over that part of Africa, East Africa. So we had some from Rwanda, some from Kenya, some from Uganda. They were from all over the place. And one of the things that they said over and over again was our people need rain. And I think y'all probably agree too. You need rain here to get the lake back up and everything back stocked. And so these people don't have any way to irrigate their crops. They rely completely on God. And so they had an hour-long prayer service that just prayed to God, crying out to God, dear Lord, please send rain. And I'll tell you, it rained every single day we were there. It's still raining. And so God answered those prayers. So this is the first picture of one of the jails, and then the next one. Oh, the other way. There we go. Here's another prison. And so we had like 20 volunteers from this church that helped us. They helped translate. They speak Swahili. Do any of y'all speak Swahili? Yeah, me either. So we had translators that translated for us. So you don't have to speak the language to go to another country. You can have someone translate for you. And then keep going. Okay, here's another prison. So we went to 2 ladies' prisons and 5 men's prisons. And so it was kind of interesting. One of the ladies' prisons, if they had a child, they were allowed to keep their child up to 3 years old with them in the prison. And then after that, they had to go and live with a relative or something like that. But I thought that was interesting and probably good. Next one. All right, so there's me. So this is what I did most of the time. So have you ever gone, who's been to the eye doctor? So you can tell I've been to the eye doctor because I wear these. I have glasses. So, and they always say, which one's better, 1 or 2? And that's what I did over and over again. So then I would, and I'm just using good old algebra 1. And so you just go up, you go down, you add and subtract integers. And so we just kept going up and down until we found the right thing. The card that they're reading is John 3. And so we would ask them to read the Bible, and then once they were able to read the Bible in their language, Swahili, we knew they could read clearly. So next. All right, so here at the end, our leader went around and said, okay, if you haven't got a chance to share the gospel with everybody, I want to give you an opportunity to do that. So I finally said yes. So I did. And so I went up to the front, and there's this cool thing called the EvangeCube. Has anybody heard of the EvangeCube? Woo! All right. So EvangeCube, they had this big one that folds up and stuff, all different ways. And so I'm a teacher. I'm a math teacher. I taught math for 25 years. And so I was expecting students to kind of go, or I was expecting the prisoners to be like, looking like that during my presentation, but they weren't. Their eyes were right on me the whole time. I even saw the guys in the back moving their chair over so they could see better. And so I was like, yes. So what we did was we prayed for open hearts. And many of y'all prayed for that too. And these were open hearts, people in the prisons. And so I was able to walk through the gospel with a visual presentation. And then next one. And then we also got to put glasses on sweet little girls like this. She could only see about this far in front of her face. Everything else was fuzzy. So she'd be walking around and, oh, hi, because she didn't recognize anybody until she got that close. She had most prescriptions are like a 1 or a 2, 2.5, something like that. Her prescription was a 19. And guess what we had? We had 1 pair of 19s. And they fit. They're a little big for her, but she's going to grow into them. And she was so happy. She was just beaming. She was describing everything in the distance to us and everything. That alone can make your heart melt and want to go back. All right, so here I am in the prison. And so many of the men, do these look like dangerous people to you? No. See this guy on the right? See, he looks scary? No, they came up. This guy's like, he wanted to give me a hug. And I'm like, I didn't remember if we could hug people. So I was just like, let's do this. And if something bad happens, I'm going to heaven. Woo! All right. But so they came up, they hugged me, they shook my hand. They were super polite. Said, thank you for coming. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate the glasses and everything and the medicine. And so it was really enjoyable. Next. All right, so this is a lady in one of the ladies' prisons. And she just stayed after the group and wanted to ask some follow-up questions. And so we were glad to do that. And then next. Okay, there's the EvangeCube again on a different place. And so there's my translator to the right. He was great. He jumped right in and had lots of energy and everything. We're almost to the next part. Okay, so here we are. We're praying the sinner's prayer. And so I'm just saying, these are not magical words. If you want to pray after me, you can. You can pray in your head. God knows your thoughts. God knows your heart. God knows if you're being real or not. And so we ended up having 140 people get saved on the trip. So we were really excited. To God be the glory for everything, for open hearts, and they were ready. All right, so this is Tanya. She was handing out medicine to different people. A lot of them had rashes and stuff that had got bad infections and stuff, and she was able to give them medicine that helped them a lot. All right, so one of the things that we like to do is we like to train the local people to do the things that we did. So, okay, y'all can say donkey, right? Donkey? Okay, so this young man's name is Bonky with a B. Bonky. So he's really funny. He's very smart. And so he caught on very quick. And so we took 3,500 pairs of glasses with us. And we gave out 2,400 of them. And so we left the 1,100 with them. And so they could continue doing part of the mission. And so they could help people in their neighborhood, around their church and stuff with the glasses because he had been trained. We're almost to the animals. All right, these are just sweet people praying. There's Hugh, the great evangelist. And he puts people, makes sure their glasses fit right. So when they lean over, off. All right, and this is Josh. He did a lot of the evangelistic part. He's a seminary student right now. These are two young ladies that just got glasses, could see far for the first time in a long time. Here's the animals. Okay, so I need my volunteer, Ava Bell. Did I say that right? Ava Bell. All right, so all right, we're going to turn Ava Bell into a Maasai warrior. So just tuck this. All right. Okay, so then get this hand out as much as you can. Okay, so. All right, you got a bracelet? Got to be official. What's your bracelet? The Indian flag. So the Maasai warriors, I don't have a little fastener to keep it on her. You just kind of hold it. All right. When I brought this home, my dog thought I was bringing home a huge chew toy because this is of real animal skin. And so, and to be all official, here's a spear. So here we go. So put the shield down on the side so everybody can see your face. All right, so she is a Maasai warrior. Now, this okay, so I think everybody knows cowboys, right? Like we have real cowboys. So I'm not talking about Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking about actual cowboys that take care of cows, riding horses, taking care of cows. And so this tribe lived on this land. This is a huge reserve. It was a big national reserve and they just let the animals go wild. They don't do anything. They don't tag anybody. They don't monitor anybody. They don't bring in new animals or take out animals. They just let nature be nature. There's no fences. There's no anything. And so here's walked right under our truck.
Oh my goodness. She is so cute.
So we saw a bunch of really cool things, but one thing real quick about the Maasai warriors is that they are the cowboys of Kenya. So their tribe lives on this land and they protect the cows, their herd of cows. They had this tribe had about 100 head of cattle. and they walk around the cattle while they're feeding, and they say the lions will not mess with them because they're very fierce. Just look at her. She's fierce. She's ready to attack the lions. So that's all. Please thank our volunteer. Okay, so the name of the place that we went, so we worked for 10 days. We worked for 10 days, and then we got a day and a half off to go here. This is called the Masai Mara. And so it's named after the tribe that lives there. So here's some cheetahs. So we saw 2 cheetahs, a leopard, and like 30 lions. So here's some giraffes, of course. I mean, y'all know what these are. There's a big pride of lions.
Sit down.
Okay, let me pause that for a second. Okay, what you just saw was there was 5 lion cubs, and we were sitting by the lion cubs because they knew all of these Jeeps communicate with each other, and they're saying the mamas are coming back, the mamas are coming back. So we were waiting with the lion cubs because they were heading in the lion cub direction. And so once the lion cubs saw their moms, they all ran to them. It was really cute. And then they would lick each other and hug and rub, just like our house cats do. It was really cute. You don't have a house cat? Well, you probably know someone that has a house cat. Okay, next. Oh, is that it? That's it. Okay, so Africa is a really cool place. I want to. So when you serve God, you get to do some really cool things sometimes. Sometimes it's normal stuff. Sometimes it's helping in church. Sometimes it's putting offering envelopes in the backs of the sheets, or maybe visitor cards, or maybe you take up the offering. Maybe you help with the garbage. Everybody has to help because the garbage doesn't take itself out. And so all of these things are part of helping in the church. And so this was something I got to do, and I've been waiting to do it all my life. And God blessed. So we handed out 2,400 pairs of glasses and 140 salvations. And then there were so many more people that said, there literally was about 1 out of every 4 people said, now I can read my Bible. So not only are we putting glasses on them, but they're saying, now I can read my Bible. Other ones were saying, now I can do that job I've been trying to get. And so it was a huge blessing. So when you get new glasses, and you donate, you can donate the old ones into the Lions Club box, and that's where we got our glasses from. So sometimes there's a donation box, and those end up going overseas or helping people that are poor here in Texas. And so if you have like several pairs of glasses just sitting in your drawer, you can donate them, and they can end up on a cute little girl in Africa or somewhere else. One last little thing, okay? God works in mysterious ways. Last fall, I got to go to, so I'm retired now. I just retired as a teacher, so that's why I get to go on these cool trips now. I got to go to Uganda. And so when we were doing one of the clinics on a hill, I could see in the distance, there was this cool rock formation way over far. We were up on a hill, and I was just like, oh, can we drive home kind of that direction? Because I really want to see it. And they're like, not today. Calm down, Eddie. I'm like, okay. And they're like, we'll be closer tomorrow, I think. So maybe we'll go tomorrow. So the next day I was like, ooh, we are closer. Look at the thing. Can we go home that way? And so we did. We went home that way, and we got out of our van. Most of us did, and we went and walked all around. Beautiful creation. It was just next to this little bitty village. And so people began to come out of the village like, why are all these white people here? Because we stood out. I mean, we don't blend in at all. So when we stop anywhere, it gathers a crowd. And so people would come out, and they were gathered around the van, and they were asking, hey, what are you doing? Why are you here? What have you been doing? And stuff like that. And so they were telling them. And so when we came back down the hill, there was like 40, 50 people around the van. And so our evangelist began to preach to them. And 10 people got saved. And so when I say that God works in mysterious ways, God might use your desire. Like, you might love to surf. You might love to hike. You might love to fish. You might love to do something, and God can use that for his kingdom. And so not only did that happen, but the people there said, can you come back again? We'll bring our neighbors. So we only had one night off in 2 weeks. And so we said, sure, we'll come back on Sunday night. So we came back on Sunday night. There was 200 people there. So we set up a sound system, preached, and like 50 more people got saved. And then even better than that, well, I mean, it's hard to beat that. But a lady came forward and said, I own land right over there. I want to donate it to a church. We want to start a church. And then another man came up and said, I have bricks. I would like to donate the bricks to the church. Another person came forward and said, I'm on the city council kind of thing, their version of city council, and said, I will make sure everything goes smooth and that the permits all get approved and you can build right there. And so a church was planted right there because God used my desire to see something pretty. So God's amazing. So I just want you to take your passions that you love, that you're good at, and you can use them for God. And so that's what I want you to do, because God will use them. If you just give them to him, he'll let you do all kinds of cool things with it. And so thank you for having me, and hope y'all have a good Thursday and a good weekend.